The She-Hulk of Earth 616 is known for her ties to Bruce Banner, her muscles, and her fancy-free style of living. She is carefree, confident, and fun when both She-Hulk and Jennifer Walters, and when she's not busy fighting supervillains alongside the various teams she has served on, including the Avengers and the Fantastic Four, as well as the A-Force, you can often find her in the courtroom, working as a defense lawyer for other supers. But although the main continuity version may be the one we are most familiar with, there are some other versions of Shulky that exist in alternate realities. Today we're going to explore some of her alternate counterparts from other universes, as well as other versions that also exist on Earth 616 as we count down the top 10 alternate versions of the She-Hulk. Be sure to stick around to the end of this video as well, where we will have some bonus content coming your way. Alright, let's get counting. Number 10. Shulk. Does not sound as nice as She-Hulk. Shulk. In the short comic series Abominations, She-Hulk is known as Shulk. On this alternate Earth, Hulk and the Abomination find themselves further mutated in the aftermath of a nuclear war. The Hulk becomes a mad tyrant and aims to take over the world, adopting the name Maestro. Shulk and Abomination attempt to team up to stop him, and they get close, but ultimately they fail, leaving Shulk to be locked up in a sarcophagus for 7 years, until Emil finds her again. He aims to make her his bride, but when she awakes, she kinda refuses the Abomination's advances. Shulk ends up discovering that Maestro conceived a child with a woman named Betty 6. Determined to put an end to his line, she hunts down Betty 6, but before she can kill the newborn infant in Betty's arms, she considers that she herself has become a monster. And then Shulk is killed. What a poignant moment of reflection, and then boom, dead. Number 9. Hydra Queen. I made that sound a lot more fun than it is. Hydra Queen. On the alternate Earth of 9997 in the Earth X series, She-Hulk was infected by Norman Osborn's Hydra creatures, which he created to eliminate all the powerful people who opposed his presidency. Take that, people. After She-Hulk's death, her body was possessed by the Hydra Queen, who led the Hydra army in eliminating S.H.I.E.L.D. and attempting to find other hosts who would join their collective. She-Hulk's spirit would remain in the realm of the dead until she assisted Mar-Vell and was rewarded by being moved to a plane called Paradise, where she was given the power to create her own personal perfect fantasy world. Seems like a fair reward. Number 8. Zombieverse. She-Hulk was transformed into a zombie when she answered an Avengers Assemble call at the Avengers Mansion. The call itself was a trap, and She-Hulk found herself attacked, ravaged, and later infected and transformed by her fellow Avengers. Zombie Avengers. The Fantastic Four had locked Reed Richards and Sue Storm's children, Valeria and Franklin, safely away in the Baxter building, where no harm was expected to come to them. However, they seem to have forgotten that She-Hulk had once been part of the team and had their codes. They really should have probably changed them just regardless of this fact, as the FF have had many additional rotating team members from time to time, including Spider-Man, who also ends up as a zombie in the Marvel Zombieverse. Anyways, driven by hunger, She-Hulk used these codes to get into the building and devour Franklin and Valeria. When Sue Storm arrived back at the tower, she sought revenge on She-Hulk for what she had done, and used her force field powers to blow off Jennifer's head. What a way to go. Number 7. Old Man Logan. I know where y'all think I'm going with this, but I promise I'm not going there this time. You've all been through enough when it comes to us talking about She-Hulk in the Old Man Logan alternate universe. So here, instead, I'm going to talk about the fact that in Old Man Logan, it's revealed that She-Hulk was one of the few heroes left standing, fighting alongside Moon Knight and Daredevil. We see this in Old Man Logan Volume 2, Issue 8, and She-Hulk is a powerhouse in this alternate universe. During the supervillain takeover, she was one of the few supers left that survived. So yeah, I mean, she went on to mate with her cousin in this universe as well, but before that, she was one of the last few heroes standing between chaos and order. Epic. Number 6. Dr. Walters. In the ultimate universe of Earth 1610, the same universe that Earth 616 Jennifer Walters once argued in a cosmic court of law was not better than its 616 counterpart, we have Dr. Jennifer Walters. Dr. Walters was working on the super soldier serum program with S.H.I.E.L.D. She produced a version of the Hulk serum that would not induce a fit of rage during the transformation process. Betty Ross convinced General Fury that Dr. Walters was aiming to steal the formula and sell it off herself to the Chinese, but it turned out that the deal Jen was making with the Chinese was surrounding buying a pre-release copy of the Star Trek film, illegally for 10 grand. I think I love this gene splicing obsessed version of Jen so much because she's just such a huge Trekkie. Oh, and in the Ultimate Universe, it ends up being Betty Ross that steals the formula to become She-Hulk and saves Bruce Banner. So yeah, green She-Hulk too, not even red She-Hulk. Number 5. Hulk Walters. On Spider-Gwen's alternate Earth of Earth 65, Jennifer Walters is a pro wrestler. She doesn't have any superpowers, she just loves painting herself green, being strong, and wrestling. The weird thing is that she chooses to stay green all the time, even when she's not wrestling. Which leaves you wondering until in Spider-Gwen Volume 2 Issue 33, when she confessed to painting her skin green and that the way that she chooses to appear has always felt more her, and it actually took her a while to come to terms with the fact that she pretty much just always wanted to be like a green giant. She also ends up as Gwen's defense lawyer in a trial against her in regards to crimes she committed while in her Spider-Woman guise. It's unclear though whether this version of Jennifer Walters is actually a lawyer in the same capacity as her 616 counterpart, as we only really see her referred to as a pro wrestler, but yet she represents Gwen in a court of law. So I don't know, maybe in that universe wrestlers are also lawyers, so that's just like a go, that's just a thing that happens. Number 4. Future She-Hulk. This version of She-Hulk comes to us from the alternate Earth of 9939, whose history is very confusing and wrapped up in a lot of timey-wimey stuff, but I'll do my best to explain. Okay, here goes. Earth 9939 is basically an alternate future of Earth 616, which came about after Baron Strucker V of Earth 8410, aka Charnel, was able to travel back in time to the past of Earth 616 and successfully defeat most of its heroes. She-Hulk is one of the heroes who survived and lives in this futuristic, post-apocalyptic techno world. She ends up having a relationship with Rhino, and when the heroes are given the opportunity to go back in time to defeat Charnel to save the world and prevent the very future that they came from, She-Hulk takes the leap. She ends up dying in the final battle against Charnel, but she tried at least, she tried. Number 3. Lyra. Lyra is the daughter of Thundra of Earth 8009 and the Hulk of Earth 616. Thundra has been sent to Earth 616 to find its greatest warrior and ended up in a fight with Hulk. Thundra fought Hulk and ended up explaining to him the issues of her world and how the society of women she came from needed some assistance in keeping the bands of men who would attack them at bay. During this confession, Thundra ended up getting close enough to kiss the Hulk, allowing her to steal some of his DNA via the kiss. From this DNA and her own, Lyra was born. She would also end up being sent to Earth 616, but this time in search of a worthy mate to breed with after the cradle, that is the incubators used to create life on her world, had broken down. She would later go on to find the parts needed to actually just fix the cradle and buried them so that her own Earth, which was an alternate future of this one, might retrieve them later. Lyra would then end up staying on Earth 616 and become an agent of armor and friend to Jennifer Walters. Number 2. Jennifer Walters Alpha. This version of She-Hulk of Earth 721 would end up on Earth 616 after becoming bored of her own universe and offered a vacation on Earth B, aka Earth 616. You see, on Earth A, aka Earth 721, there are no superpowered beings, and a scientist ended up figuring out about the existence of an alternate universe which they call Earth B, where superheroes exist and where some residents of Earth A have superpowers. They moved through a portal which granted them the powers of their Earth B counterparts, as they were transported to that alternate reality. After having some fun and sleeping with Juggernaut, this alternate She-Hulk ends up getting found out, as the current 616 She-Hulk is unable to transform due to nanites that Stark had implanted in her, which caused her to lose her powers at the time. These two She-Hulks talk it out. She-Hulk of Earth 721 is taken in with a slew of other Earth 8 counterparts, or alphas as they're referred to. In the end, they're all made to return to their Earth, and after not being sure if she would actually get to return to her Earth, this alternate Jennifer Walters is happy to return to her life, where we also found out that she's married to Jen's friend, Pug. Number 1. Red She-Hulk. Red She-Hulk first made her comic book appearance in Hulk Volume 2 Issue 15 in 2009. The character of Betty Ross was originally Bruce Banner's one true love in the comics and the daughter of Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, one of Hulk's main enemies, after Thunderbolt underwent a transformation that turned him into the Red Hulk, and to be honest, even a little bit before that, as a man never really approved of his daughter dating the Hulk. Betty became the Red She-Hulk after her father begged his current allies during this time as Red Hulk to bring her back to life. The leader and MODOK then brought her back after her death. She was resurrected and underwent the same process as her father, thus transforming her into Red She-Hulk. She's often presented as an anti-hero and has spent time working alongside the Defenders. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad. I hope you enjoyed learning more about all the different versions of She-Hulk. Do you have a favorite alternate? Who do you think is better, red She-Hulk or green She-Hulk? What other colors of She-Hulk do we need? What's next after red? I personally want a rainbow She-Hulk. Instead of raging when angry, their joy would make them stronger and it would make them rage harder, just like crushing people with like epic dance parties. Let us know your feelings on She-Hulk alternates in the comments. And speaking of comments, let's turn to some comments from one of my latest videos, the top 10 superheroes that She-Hulk hooked up with. Speaking of She-Hulk, Reginald Dove says, Amanda looks like she could be Scarlett Johansson's little sister. I seriously wish this was true, both that I looked like ScarJo and that I was her little sister. I've actually never had an older sister, I'm the oldest in my family. So Scarlett, if you're looking for a younger sister, please call me. Zara021A comments, I agree with you, Amanda. Strong is the new pretty, indeed. Keep up the awesome work, top 10 crew. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah, I personally love strength exercises, doing push-ups and lifting, so I also agree. Bench press on, my friend. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell if you haven't already. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host, Amanda McKnight, reminding you to stay nerdy, YouTube.